Charalambides, you guys battled all the way down the stretch. What'd you like about the push tonight?
I like the resiliency. I like the hustle plays. I like not quitting, but I think as a group we got to kind of grow and not put ourselves in those types of positions. Obviously, our first quarter slow start led us to what was that one goal battle down the stretch there, and yeah, slow start by us that led us to that situation.
You had 3 goals tonight. What was clicking for you offensively? You had one on the power play and a couple at 5-on-5.
Yeah, just our whole group is moving the ball really well, moving our feet. We wanted to kind of play a little bit faster this week because we're kind of a little bit methodical based at times, a little bit slower, and yeah, I like the way we all moved, and yeah, just playing off my teammates.
When the offense struggles, what's the issue?
I mean, there's no lack of chances. Our shots on goal were great. Our posts, I don't even know how many total we had tonight, but yeah, it's just like, not getting frustrated, sticking to the process, and, being a positive teammate to your, one another, next one's going, and things of that nature that'll keep us going.
What was the mood on the bench when you were waiting for the Dixon call to be reviewed?
I mean, we're all, just waiting to see what happens. We got an iPad down there, so our goalie coach T. Rich was looking at it, and yeah, we were just waiting to see what they were going to call.
Did you think it was good?
What I think doesn't matter.
What were some of the challenges that San Diego presented defensively?
They got some athletic defenders, some fast guys, some athletes, so they like to play pressure all over the floor, and I like the way that we responded to it. We were running by certain guys and getting the ball low despite the pressure, so I thought we did a good job managing the pressure, and yeah, they got some athletes.
Do you think you guys tested their goalie enough early on?
Based off the shots per quarter, like I said, we had a slow first quarter, so I'd say no in the first. We picked it up in the second. Third, we were okay, pretty good fourth quarter. So overall, yes, but a little bit of a slow start. Would have liked a few more shots in the first.
And there was that really exciting behind the net goal in the second quarter there. What does it mean to bring that kind of excitement and motivation to the bench?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to be able to finish plays like that, but, all the kudos goes to my teammates. That's all Jesse. It's all the whole power play, right? Setting up the play. Jesse does a great job winding up, selling it, and I'm just sliding into my spot doing my job.
Yeah, and then tonight there was also more fans than there was at any playoffs game last season. What does it mean to have that Warriors fandom continue to build?
Yeah, it's incredibly special. Our fans are our backbone, and, we know they're coming out spending their hard-earned money, and, we're trying to win games, put on a good show for them, so really grateful that they all came out, and, yeah, just super thankful for them.
Coach, you guys pushed them to the brink in the last bit there. What did you like about the game, and what are some of the things you want to clean up?
I like the fact that we stayed in the fight there. Like, we were kind of chasing the game the whole game, but we never gave up. And then right at the end, you're looking at one shot, and we can talk about that after. But I like that we stayed in there. I like the resiliency. I like the no quit. I don't like the fact that we're relying on one shot to tie the game. We're just playing a little bit tight at certain times of the game. I think our offense is trying too hard. They're kind of squeezing their sticks a little bit, and we're trying to be too fine, and I think we're missing the net. It was one of our better games with on-ball percentage. We shot pretty good. Their goalie was 82, our guy was 82, so the numbers were pretty good. Power play was 1 for 4, so they were pretty good there. So we generated. We just we hit some bars. We had some bad luck, but they played well, and if you leave it to chance, like last week we're on the right side of it, this week we're not. A lot of times in the NLL it's a one-goal game league, and this one sucks.
You guys had 5 goals in that second quarter. When you were generating offense so quickly, I think it was 5 goals in 6 minutes. What was working in that moment?
We're just flowing. We're getting stops in the one end, and they went in. We ran in transition a couple times. Sometimes if you're not scoring 5-on-5, you got to kind of stretch a little bit and get up and down the floor. We run really well in the second and fourth quarter. We usually do here. We got our righties, get Dixon and Baller coming off the front door, so that makes a big difference too. So the teams have to be very careful when they shoot the ball. So I think that was a bit to do with it. And then we got one early in the third quarter, and then they had a couple. And I'm not going to take anything away from them. They played a very good lacrosse game. They had a couple ones that just bounced off our guy and goes in the net. There's a rebound up in there. Everyone's looking. It falls in a guy's stick, and they throw it in the net. Like I said, the Courier one bounces, and that's a goal late in the fourth quarter. It sucks.
What do you like about your offense's ability to fight back to the game after starting the game off slow?
You know what? We got a lot of veteran guys. Jess didn't get one tonight. Dick's got one. I think those guys would probably want it over again. They hit a couple bars. Jesse hit a bar real late. So did Dick. So like it was never from a lack of effort. It's just not falling. It was, like I said, they had a little bit of luck on their side, and some nights we have a little bit of luck on our side, and we didn't get that. So to be honest with you, I'll have to go back and break the tape down. I thought, like I said, we wanted to generate 50 shots plus, and we had 50 shots, and then we got on ball shooting percentage was 18%. So that's not too bad. So, but we just got to be a little bit better.
What was the answer you got on the play at the end, on the Dixon play?
Well, I thought, like, I don't know. For me, and Brett Colombe's a very good referee. He's one of our top referees in the National Lacrosse League. And he told me that I said, why did you originally call it off? And he said that he thought his foot dragged. Now, it's his potato. Like, we got a big crowd, and like 9 times out of 10 the referees in our league are pretty sure usually call it a goal and go back and review it. And if that would have happened, then they said they had inconclusive evidence to overturn a call on the field, and it looked like to me that with the ball in the net, but it did look like his foot could have dragged. And he said, they looked at the replay, and then the one angle that they got from behind our bench, a fan or someone stood up. He's actually said Miskey's helmet and just blocked Dixon's legs, so you could timestamp that. Like if they could get that angle and Dixon's legs off the ground that much, they could flip it over and look at the overhead. And if that ball's in net, well, that much is there, then we call it a goal. But said someone ended up standing up. He said Mitski, who was one of the guys at the bench, or it could have been one of the fans. We're not sure. It doesn't really matter. But they just couldn't get that angle. Unfortunate. I've been around this league for a long time, and usually they call that a goal. But yeah, it's we're not going to blame it on the referees. It's unfortunate. We had a really good crowd, and we pissed it.
Right guy, right time, though, at the end.
Yeah, it was. We had the right guy out there. Marcus played an excellent play, and Max Adler did a good job battling in that circle. And I think maybe I don't know. I'm not going to make a bunch of excuses because you don't go down to the end. But you know what? We stuck with it, and the season's for ups and downs. Like you got to give punches in the nose. You got to take the punch in the nose. I think tonight we're on the right side of it, and maybe we're feeling a little bit good, and we kind of got behind, and they were a very desperate team, and we all talked about that. Our guys did anyway, and we just couldn't quite get it done. So you know what? We got a couple big trips across the country. It's going to be tough. So we'll see what we're made over the next 2 weeks.
What do you do next? How do you?
I'm going to make some changes. I have to. Like, we usually ride the same lineup. If we win, I'm going to have to go back and make some changes and tweak the lineup a little bit and just go with a different look. I think, I got to watch Ottawa. I'm not sure if they won. I think they might have won tonight in Buffalo, but they got a good goalie, and, they got one of the best players in the National Lacrosse League. So, to be honest, Steve, I'd have to just go break down some more film and get prepared for them.
When the offense isn't working, what is it? When it's not falling, is it? What's the issue?
We jam the middle. We pack the middle. Like sometimes we try to get right to the top of the crease. If you notice, like we walk around, everyone's like, shoot it, and we're tucking it, and we're trying to get right in. And I like the fact they want to get to the middle of the floor, and I always say around the corner, down the middle. But sometimes you just got to shoot it. And if you want to open up your inside game, you got to establish the outside game and shoot the ball. And we got to trust we got good goaltending and defense, so we're okay to take some of those transition type shots from the top, and that way I'll get the defense to flare out. So and other times we just stand in the middle of the floor and we plug it, and the other team just slides over. Like when Dix is going to the net, like the other side of the floor is coming. So we got to do a better job of kind of occupying them, and I thought the ball was too high early in the game, and it got better a little bit later, but it's really easy to defend when the ball's at the top. You got 5 sets of eyes in the goaltender, so we wanted to turn them around a little bit. I don't think we did a great job on that, and that's on me. So to be honest, like Bobby and I'll go back and try to fix some things, but I just think we jammed the middle, and I think we got to take what we're given, especially early in the game, and then they can expand a little bit.
Is the offense where you thought it would be at this point?
No. I said right from the start of training camp, and anyone that asked me a question about the team, I said the last thing that comes is offense. We're just all trying to figure out our way out there a little bit with them, and we got game breakers, and Dix wants the ball to go to the net, and so does Jesse, and so does Baller. You know what I mean? Beans had a heck of a game, so we got to get more spread out scoring. Like last game, Dix had 4, and Baller had a couple, and we just got to get everybody 1, 2. Someone might go off for 3. Our transition has been good. We're getting up the floor. We're not getting short clocked, which is good. We get long possessions. And so I just think it'll take some time. I'm not gonna beat up the stats of it, but we have the personnel. I don't think it's a personnel thing. I think it's just we gotta maybe tweak a little bit of our system and go from there. And that's really on me. All the pieces are here, all the heart's here, all the competes here, all the hard work's here. The guys who really care. Just gotta work a little bit on the X's and O's, and that falls on my shoulders.
And I kind of just want to shift towards the fans tonight. They were always there cheering, booing, whatever the call was, and no matter what that score was on the scoreboard, what does it mean to just have their continuous support throughout the game?
I feel really bad we lost, to be honest with you. Like, we had the best record crowd, and it really, it's it's upsetting. Like, I feel like we let them down, and I think our guys feel like we let them down. And I know it's back and forth, but we were on the wrong side of it. It's pro sports, you know, it's a result-based business. We got to get the win, and, you know, it's hopefully that they can take away how hard we worked and how committed the guys are. But, you know, everyone wants to support a winner, and we didn't get it done. So, you know what, we got some work to do on the road, and hopefully they'll come back in a couple, 3 weeks when we play Rochester. But, you know, they do make a difference. It's really nice to see, and I'm just proud how the community and the province of British Columbia really support the Vancouver Warriors, and it means a lot to us. It doesn't go unnoticed, and you know, like I said, we feel we let them down, and that won't happen again. Okay, thank you, Aaron.
Curt.